Have you ever started something with excitement, only to abandon it halfway? Maybe you began learning a new language, but stopped after 2 weeks. Maybe you decided to write a book, bought all the supplies, and the notebook still sits empty. Or maybe you have 10 projects half done, and every time you look at them, you feel guilty. If that sounds like you, if your life feels full of unfinished dreams, then this story is for you. Because once, there was a man who could not finish anything he started, until one encounter taught him the secret that changed everything. Stay with me until the end. Once upon a time, in a quiet village, surrounded by rolling hills and winding roads, there lived a young craftsman named Elias. Elias was 28 years old, talented with his hands, and overflowing with creative ideas. But Elias had a problem that followed him everywhere. He could not finish anything. His workshop was filled with half-made projects. A chair missing a leg, a table without a top, a cabinet with no doors. Every corner held the remains of something that was started with passion and abandoned with silence. When neighbors asked Elias, "When will that bookshelf be ready?" he would smile awkwardly and say, "Soon. I just need to work on one more thing first." But soon never came. His father, a respected craftsman who had taught Elias everything, would visit the workshop and shake his head. "My son," he would say, "a craftsman is not measured by how many projects he begins. He is measured by how many he completes." Elias would nod, promise to do better, and then start something new. "This time will be different," he told himself. "This will be the one I finish." But within days, a new idea would appear, a better design, a more exciting challenge. And the unfinished project would quietly join the others, collecting dust. Elias felt ashamed, but he could not break the cycle. Every night, he lay awake, thinking about all the things he had almost done. The guilt sat on his chest like a heavy weight. He whispered into the darkness, "Why can't I finish what I start? What is wrong with me?" One spring morning, Elias received the opportunity of a lifetime. The village leader's daughter was getting married, and she wanted a custom-made wooden chest as a gift for her husband. She visited Elias's workshop, saw the beauty hidden in the unfinished pieces, and said, "I believe in your talent. I will pay you well. I need it finished in 3 months." Elias felt his heart race. This was his chance. This would prove everything. For the first 2 weeks, he worked with passion. The chest began to take shape. The wood was flawless. The carvings were stunning. Everyone who saw it said, "This will be your masterpiece." Then one afternoon, Elias saw a design for a jewelry box in a book. "Just a small project," he told himself. "I will finish it quickly and return to the chest." The small project grew. Then another idea came. Then another. 3 months passed faster than he realized. The wedding day arrived. The chest sat in the corner of his workshop, unfinished. No lid, no lock. Half the carvings incomplete. Elias stood in his doorway as wedding bells rang in the distance. The gift was made by someone else. He lost the job, the money, the trust. But worse than all of that, he lost respect for himself. He sat on the floor of his workshop, surrounded by unfinished work, and cried. Not because he failed once, but because he had failed the same way for years. Looking at his hands, hands capable of beautiful beginnings but no endings, he whispered, "I am tired of being the man who almost did something great." That night, broken and desperate, Elias walked to the edge of the village to visit an old master craftsman named Jonah. Jonah was known for 2 things, flawless work and few words. Elias knocked on the door. Jonah opened it, looked at Elias' tired eyes, and said simply, "Come in." The workshop was small and spotless. Every tool had its place. In the center sat a simple wooden stool, perfectly made. "Master Jonah," Elias said softly, "I have ideas and talent, but I cannot finish what I start. How do you do it?" Jonah did not answer right away. He picked up a block of wood and a carving knife and began to work slowly. After a long silence, he spoke. "Inside this wood is something complete," Jonah said. "Right now, it is hidden. My job is to remove everything that does not belong." He shaved away a thin layer. "If I stop now, this is nothing, just damaged wood." He removed another layer. Still nothing. Then he continued. "But if I keep going, layer after layer, even when it feels slow, something finished will emerge." Jonah looked at Elias. "The beginning is exciting. The end feels rewarding. But the middle is uncomfortable, boring, and full of doubt. That is where most people stop." He placed the wood in Elias' hands. "Finishing is not about motivation. Motivation fades. Finishing is about commitment. For the next 30 days, choose one small project. Touch it every day, even if only for 10 minutes, until it is done. Finish one thing. Just one. Because if you can finish one thing, you can finish anything." Elias returned home, holding the wood carefully. He looked around his chaotic workshop and chose the smallest project, a simple stool that needed only a few hours of work. "This one," he said, "I will finish this one." The next morning, before excuses formed, he worked for 10 minutes. Day 2, 10 minutes. Day 3, 10 minutes. On day 5, a new idea tempted him. Something exciting, something new, but he ignored it and touched the stool instead. 10 minutes. Some days became longer, some stayed short. But he never skipped a day. On day 12, he noticed something change. The stool was nearly finished. For the first time in years, he felt pride. Not pride in starting, but pride in continuing. On day 23, the stool was complete. He placed it in the center of the workshop and sat on it. It was simple, but it held him perfectly. In that moment, Elias understood. He was not broken. He had simply never learned how to finish. He chose another project, then another. Same rule. Touch it every day until complete. Months passed. The unfinished clutter disappeared. Finished pieces filled the space. 6 months later, the village leader's daughter returned. "Can you still make that chest?" she asked. "For our anniversary," Elias smiled calmly. "Yes, and this time I will finish it." And he did. This story is not about woodworking. It is about you. Finishing is a skill, not a talent, and it can be learned. The middle is always hard. That does not mean you should quit. Finished is better than perfect. Touch your work daily, even for 10 minutes. So choose one unfinished thing today. Just one. Finish it. Because the moment you do, everything changes. Stop starting. Start finishing.